You know, what was your concept going into marriage? If I said define marriage, and now, what is your definition of marriage?
Yeah.
I never wanted to get married.
Me too.
Wow, I've never heard that from anybody else.
No, I wasn't one of those women praying for no husband. I was dead scared. Scared of man.
Thank you. I did not want to get married. I hated the concept. I appreciated that it was
For others.
from God.
Yeah.
Yes. And my daddy is a pastor. I see married people almost every week. And I just was not, I said, Lord, if anything, I will be just a little nun and go through life.
My words exactly. I'm like, Lord, I'll work for you in your kingdom, do anything you want, but
thank you. I'm glad somebody can relate, because it was just so traumatic, the way how marriages weren't surviving, all of that. And
yeah, it made me scared.
I was scared too. And when I met Jermaine, I was 20 years old. And we got married and I was 21. And everything. What? Oh my gosh, look at that.
Interesting.
Very.
Oh.
And the way how things happened, when I met him, I knew he was my husband. When he met me, he knew I was his wife.
Yeah.
And it was very interesting. He booked me for a shoot because he was doing music, but he wanted me to be a stylist and possibly the video vixen, because I used to model. Yeah, you wanted me to model in the video, right? Yeah. So that was why we started talking. And on the day when he messaged me, he asked me if I was on campus, because I used to go to Edna Manley. He used to go to Edna Manley too, but he had graduated long before I went there. So he was, yeah, like long before?
A year.
A year before?
Long before.
And when I was in class that day and I just saw a message coming on my business page, as they're messaging, and he was talking about the video, and he was actually saying that he's about to perform on campus. So I was like, okay. But I was asking him where on campus, and then he told me music school. I didn't tell him I was coming over to him. So someone was like, Davene, get up out the class and just walk over there. I didn't tell him I was coming. So I went around, I asked them if they knew a Jermaine. Somebody was there, and I asked them for the person. And they showed me where he was. So I just stood there, saw a little room, and I saw that he was in there, but it seemed like he was praying or something. So like the Holy Spirit said to me, don't say anything, just stand at the door and wait till he sees you. And I just stood there. I never know him. I just see him. I was like, okay, I never like him like that or anything. I just stand up there, you know. And what happened, babe? You tell that story.
No, when I saw her lifting up my eyes and I saw her, I just leaped forward and hugged her.
He jumped. He did not leap. He jumped. He jumped towards
just like that, Jermaine.
Sorry?
You just hugged her like that?
Yeah,
just
I didn't
like
know.
that.
It was the first time, like, officially meeting her. I was like,
he was hugging me like.
That's rather bold. So Davene, weren't you
just like that
thinking about like what is gotten into
him? I was like, I hugged. I was in shock, and then the hug. It was a long hug. It wasn't like a hug and let go. It was a long hug, and his head was on my shoulder, and I was like, what is happening? And then I just hugged him back, and I just hugged him back. And I was like, even when we let go, like the both of us were looking at each other like.
It felt right. Strange enough.
And when I left him around there, I went to my lecturer, who is like a spiritual father to me too.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, sir, I think I just met my husband. Exact words. And that was it. We didn't even know when we were boyfriend and girlfriend. It just happened. We don't have a starting date.
So based on those two experiences then, how would you then in those early days, how would you have defined what marriage is?
Yeah. Marriage is a relationship between him, my wife, and myself. And it's a covenant indeed. And he cares about it. It's his highest representation of what is also to come and what it used to be in the beginning. Jesus told us, what it was, he said, this is the way it used to be in the beginning. It was between a man and a woman. And I believe he's the center of that relationship. He defines it. Let me tell you, I almost went to jail one night. I was involved in a relationship where I stepped away from God, and I was living with this young lady, and God showed me that vision to basically get my attention. It turned out that God started wanting or battling for his position in my life.
Yes, because you were cheating on God.
I was, thank you, yes. I love that. So, not the action, but I love that what you said. So, God, one night I was sitting there in the room, and the young lady was asleep. Her phone was on the bed, and it was closed. It was an iPhone. And the Holy Spirit said to me, I heard that voice audibly, take up the phone, which is the young lady's phone, and I took it up. It was closed, and I did not know the password. So I was like, God, what is it you want me to see? As I was holding the phone just burst open. The screen opened, no password enter. It was when I saw it, I was frightened. I almost threw the phone. I saw the phone just open, and when it opened, it went right to a WhatsApp message between the young lady and another guy. And when I saw the message, she was having an affair with the other guy. So
you must have felt like a fool twice over.
Fool. Yes, I did. And I tapped her and I said to her, I showed her and I said, when were you going to tell me this? I said, okay, we have to, break up. That's it. And I'm not the typical guy that's going to do anything or try to come at you or beg you or whatever. You didn't tell me about this. And if it was not for the Holy Spirit, I wouldn't know. So I said, we're through. 2 weeks, the young lady said I couldn't get her. I can't tell her to leave the place. She isn't going to leave and go anywhere. And so I said, no, you can't have an affair with the next guy. I want to live with me and be with me. So I have to make my life open now and available. I have to go looking for my wife because it's not going to work with you. She said, it was an argument. She's not leaving. And so she attacked me one day. A couple of days after that, she attacked me. And when she attacked me, I, defended myself. I didn't hit back or anything like that. I just held. And she was, vicious. And I was saying, all I asked you for is to leave. That's all. And I gave her time. Long and short, she started making calls and say, hey, this guy hit me. And
so she reported you for bodily harm.
Yes, she started telling everybody lies, and I thought about it. What got me in that position in the first place? What led to her cheating? And I remember saying to her that I don't want to have any premarital sex. I wanted to change my life, and I thought she would be glad. I thought she would be okay. As in my mind, every female wanted that. And that was what led to her.
But she was not a godly woman, so that will not be her values.
Exactly, that's true. So I was like, God, you are the one who, I was trying to live for, and all of this happened. So what's next? And and I was like, after she left that night, the whole place just felt free. The atmosphere felt breathable. I was, and I was sitting there and feeling, okay, my life is okay now. I don't want to see any more females for a good while. But guess what? The Lord, his spirit walked into my room. And I heard this. What you have experienced is to teach you why I said no sex before marriage. And I was just there listening on the chair, and I said, what is this? What is, I started somewhat getting afraid. And I hear the Lord said, you gave her money, you gave her shelter, you gave her food, you gave her clothes, you gave her love, attention, everything. Now in my mind, I'm thinking that the next thing I'm going to hear is, well done. But I hear God said to me, just as you have given this woman everything, and she has done you wrong, it's the same way in which I have given you everything. I've been the perfect husband man to you, and you have done me wrong. I fell on my knees at that moment.
You must have felt as small as an ant.
Flat on my face. And I started saying, God, I started crying because I was like, how could I have done this to you? I felt the heartbreak that she had left in me, but immediately mine left because I started feeling God's heartbreak. And God started explaining to me that his concept and definition of marriage is so different from what most people see. If I cannot learn to be in a marriage with him, I will never be in a marriage with anybody else in the right way. Wow. It hit me. Wow. I started understanding. I said, oh, God, that's why you say no sex before marriage. That's why you say, because we have to spend that quality, intimate time with him. He wants it. Yes. I said, okay, that's why you do all of these things to me so that I can learn how to do them for her. That's why you approach me and handle certain situations the way you do. It started hitting me. Wisdom started coming to me, and I said, I repented. I repented of all of that. And I said, God, it's really a relationship that you're after with me, not the rituals. And God showed me, yes.
So now,
he's after my heart. So that's the definition of marriage right there. It's a relationship that has to have him in it first. And then it's between me and her.